Okay, class number 4 for Qigong. Our class goals are going to be discussion of various types of Qigong in the book that are used in clinical practice. And we'll do some Qigong practice, partner up, and treat each other. So the Shanghai College of Traditional Chinese Medicine lists 8 static Qigongs, 23 dynamic Qigongs, and 12 emission of external Qi, or Wei Qi, in their book. The 8 static Qigongs are relaxation Qigong, internal nourished Qigong, Roborant Qigong, heavenly circuit Qigong, heavenly circuit self-rotation Qigong, reversing Yang Qigong, gathering sun and moon Qigong, and 6-character formula. There are 23 dynamic Qigongs that are head and face Qigong, eye Qigong, nose and teeth Qigong, ear Qigong, neck and nape Qigong, shoulder and arm Qigong, sternocostal Qigong, abdominal Qigong, waist Qigong, lower limb Qigong, regulating heart Qigong, regulating spleen Qigong, regulating the lung Qigong, regulating liver Qigong, regulating kidney Qigong, recuperating life Qigong, iron crotch Qigong, soothing liver, improve eye Qigong, opening Ren and Du Qigong, lift and lower yin and yang Qigong, Yi Jin Jing Qigong, 6-section brocade and 8-section brocade. The 12 emission of external Qi, conduct Qi closing, the palms osculating, conduct Qi in one-finger meditation style, conduct Qi in a pushing and pulling of the palms, conduct Qi of pull 3 points in one line, conduct Qi forming a circle out of 3 points. There's conducting Qi in a bursting style, conducting Qi in a spiral style, conducting Qi in a cold or hot style, emitting Qi hand forms, emitting Qi manipulations, Qi patterns in the emission of Qi, line, dot, and spiral. Of the Taoist Qigongs, their main reasons are for longevity and immortality, and in Taoism you want to retreat. So their type of Qigongs are based on Jing Qi Shen, internal elixir of Kan and Li, that's the fire and water of the Bagua, the microcosmic orbit, 6 healing sounds, Neigong, 8 extraordinary, 12 channels, dragon spine and spiraling and coiling, longevity gong and relaxation gong. Of the Buddhist styles, there is enlightenment. They're seeking out enlightenment, nirvana, higher rebirth. So they use pranayama, vipassana, which is watching the mind, mantras, which are a type of chant. Pure Land Buddhism, they chant Amitabha. And then there's mind exercises, like 1-point concentration called Zi. So you use an object like a candle or an image or a mandala, and you just gaze at it. There's Guan, reflection of mind, reflecting unjudgmentally like a mirror. So the mind is just a reflection like a mirror. The mirror doesn't judge. It doesn't say it's good or bad. It just reflects life as is. Sometimes we can call that contemplation. And then there's bodhicitta, the mind of enlightenment and compassion that generates compassion and wisdom. There's martial Qigong, which is Wei Gong, and the Nei Gong. These are like pose standing, holding the Mabu and holding the hands out, the Wuji stance, the Taiji Mabu stance, things like Badwa Jen is martial, Yi Jin Jing, the muscle sinew change classic, Taiji, Bagua, Xingyi, and all sorts of Kung Fu styles. Also, the Chinese word for martial art is Wushu. Then there's like Iron Shoot Qigong, where they believe they can make their body as strong as iron. And then they can do all kinds of breaking skills, like break bricks in iron bars. And then Confucius Qigong, it's really more about bringing some of these esoteric things into society, like from Taoism or Buddhism or the martial arts. So it's really anything related to public teaching for the benefit of society. So all of the modern forms, even what we're learning, is very Confucius in that it's for the people so that they can find Tao while living in society, finding some order in the chaos. So some of the national and standard types of Qigong that are out there are Liang Gong Shi Ba Fa, which is based on some of the animal frolics, some of the Yi Jin Jing, some of the Badwa Jins, kind of all put together. There's 18 Taiji Qigong, Guolin Qigong, which is a walking kind of Qigong. There's simplified Tai Chi forms out there and modern Tai Chi forms. And then there's medical Qigongs and other type of standardized sets. I'm throwing this Buddhism basics in there because there's a lot of important history there. You got to understand where even Buddhism came from. Just like Judaism is the root of Christianity, what was going on in India gave birth to Buddhism. So there's the Vedic traditions before Buddhism, study of Hinduism and the Upanishads. They believe in Atman and Brahman, these higher powers, higher levels of concentration. There's the yogis who seek unification with the universe. Things like Hatha Yoga are Vedic traditions, aestheticism, fasting and breath work, the understanding of chakras and kundalini. They use the different unifications like mudras, like the hand symbols, things like this. They meditate. And mantras, like the sounds, like Om, Om, Aham, things like this. You've heard of the tantras, and they believe in the 3 channels. So you have your central channel with your chakras on it, and then there's 2 other channels, the sun and moon channel. So when they do the alternate nostril breathing, you're cleansing those channels. And it's related to humors, each of those channels. There's 3 humors in the Ayurvedic medicine: phlegm, bile, and wind. And Hinayana is the early part of the Buddha, when the Buddha first came. So they studied the Eightfold Path, the Four Noble Truths, and Sutra teachings, various stories of the Buddha. Vipassana is a style of watching the mind and watching your breath. It's very simple. Theravadan Buddhism is from Southeast Asia. Mahayana Buddhism came later through different bodhisattvas teaching different aspects of the Buddha, and they represent different yogis. They use different mantras, and then there's a system called Mantrayana, where it's a Mahayana method of calling up various deities or aspects of the Buddha, like the wisdom Buddha, the medicine Buddha, the Buddha of compassion, and different protectors. And so one of the most famous ones is Om Mani Padme Hum. It's the Chinrazig or Avalokiteshvara, Guanyin type of female or compassionate type of being. And then there's the Vajrayana, the tantric path of Buddhism. They do various yogas, trying to unify various aspects of the Buddhas. One's called Nirmanakaya, Sambhogakaya, and Dharmanikaya. They're trying to fuse those three elements represent like the complete body, the truth body, and the emanation body of the Buddha. So you're trying to unify these 3 into one. There's Chan or Zen Buddhism, very famous in China, and then later on to Japan and Korea. They do the quiet sitting. They study sutras and have different types of meditation called dhyana meditation, samadhi meditation, shunyata. They study the sutras like the Diamond Sutra and the Lotus Sutra. There's another type of Buddhism from China called Pure Land. What they do is they chant Amitabha, this a Buddha of the Western paradise. So they believe by just facing west and chanting Amitabha, you're going to go to this heaven. And so it's a very important method that they use. And then finally, Dzogchen is a shamanic method from a pre-Buddhist Tibet. And then when Buddhism went into Tibet, it fused with that Bon culture. So there's only two schools of Buddhism. One is in the Nyingma tradition of Tibetan Buddhism, and then the shamanic tradition that was originally there in Tibet, called the Bon. So they're heavy on the use of the channels and unifying their consciousness in the central channel, kind of like the Kundalini, and is very yogic intensive. The 5 Animal Frolics is one of the early forms of Qigong. That is the one from Huatou, the famous Han-style dynasty physician. So the bear, crane, monkey, and deer are the 5 animals, and they all represent 5 aspects of the elements of Chinese medicine. The bear is in the wintertime. The Qigong is there designed to warm you. It's a heavy and deep stance, like a horse stance. The crane is to cool you in the heat of summer. There's seasonal methods. Then there's the 6 healing sounds. As we've been practicing, the shu sound for the liver, he sound for the heart. The book talks about that these may aid the hyperactivity of liver fire, liver vacuity, hepatomegaly, poor appetite, indigestion, dry eyes, and vertigo. That's the shu sound for the liver. The he sound for the heart may aid in palpitations, angina pectoris, which is chest pain, insomnia, forgetfulness, profuse sweating, tongue erosion, stiff tongue, and aphasia. The hu sounds for the stomach and spleen may aid in spleen qi deficiency, diarrhea, abdominal distension, edema, muscle atrophy, spleen and stomach disharmony, indigestion, poor appetite, hematochezia, which is bloody stool, irregular menstruation and fatigue. The sound for the lungs may aid in common cold, fever and cough, shortness of breath, phlegm accumulation, backache, aversion to cold, and frequent scanty urine. The chui sound for the kidney may aid weakness or pain in the loin and legs, dry eyes, forgetfulness, tidal fever, grade that comes and goes. So tidal fever is a low-grade fever that comes and goes. Okay, night sweating, vertigo, tinnitus, spermaturia, impotence, cold womb, teeth or hair loss in women, and the sound for the triple burner sanjiao is he. The book says she, xi, but it's he. As we've been practicing, it can aid in tinnitus, vertigo, sore throat, stiffness in chest, abdominal distension, urinary disorders. All right, moving on to page 9. The Yi Jing Jing Muscle Tendon Classic, developed by the Indian Buddhist monk Bodhidharma at Shaolin Temple to help the monks meditate better. They were too weak and fatigued to sit for long periods of time. So this is where Chan Buddhism started, which later evolved into Zen Buddhism in Korea and Japan. So it's a very dynamic Qigong, and it invigorates the 12 channels, Ren and Dumai. It can help you lose weight. The 8-piece brocade, which is the main Qigong for this class. We've lectured on this before. This is our bread and butter Qigong for the semester. 5 element palms are based on the 5 element organs, the 5 directions, and 5 emotions. Each exercise is done facing the corresponding direction that is associated with the element and organ. So the fire palms looks like this. So you're going to stand like a horse stance. Hold this. Or you can do like a neutral kind of stance, more like hips to shoulder width, holding the hands out like this. The one for the kidneys is called hands floating on water, so it's like your hands are on water like this. Imagine you're in a pool up into your waist and your hands are kind of floating. My fingers are going outwards like this towards you. The tree, which is the wood, liver element, is like this, holding your arms out like this. The monkey offers the peach is for metal in the lungs. There's a couple variations. There's with the hands out like this. Another one is the hands out like this, or the offering a peach like this. There's a couple different ones. So 1, palms out from the side. That's what it looks like. Second one like this, or like this. You can really feel the stretch in here. Or here. Monkey after a peach, like a monkey offering the peach. The Hanuman, or the Monkey King, offering the immortal peach. And the embrace posture of the earth. This is our holding the basket posture and Tai Chi. Just holding it like this. It's a very earthy posture. Sometimes they call it embrace posture, holding the one, holding the universe, hugging the tree. The longevity Qigong, also in the book called the Health Preservation Qigong. This is similar to what we do at the end, like the rubbing the legs, rubbing the arms, rubbing the stomach, rubbing the head. In the book, they want you to do quiet sitting for 50 breaths. Then you do a nose Qigong, like rubbing your nose, and then the eye Qigong, keeping the hands over the eyes, rubbing the face, like we do here. Ear Qigong, beating the drum, like the back of the head. I'm going to push on my ear, like this. And then with the fingers like this, beating on the gallbladder 20 area. That's supposed to be a treatment for tinnitus. The mouth Qigong, the teeth, tongue, and swallowing the pearl. This is like the teeth, remember? The front of the teeth, the side of the teeth. Right side, left side. And then the tongue, around the mouth, the outside of the teeth, the inside of the teeth, building up and generating saliva, and swallow it 3 times to the stomach, which is called swallowing the pearl. Rubbing the arms, which we already know that one. Massaging the lower back, the main men, kidneys. A toe touching Qigong, you're sitting on the ground and you touch your toes. Waist daimai circles. Waist daimai circles. Massaging your dantian, massaging the knees and ankles, and then massaging kidney 1. The way to massage kidney 1 is to take your foot, kidney 1, chop it here. Okay, quite simple. The pose standing, we've already talked about those main 2. Our 2 ones we're doing is the Wuji standing and holding the basket. Holding the basket, remember this way, and then Wuji standing, the Laogong facing the earth. In a narrow stance, the holding the basket is more shoulder width, Wuji is more hips width. Relaxation Qigong, we do this in the Tai Chi class. You relax every part of your body, you just go down, you just tell yourself to relax the front part of your body from the head to the toe, then the sides of your body from the head to the toe. Just go through every part, like shoulder. Just tell your body, relax your shoulder, relax your upper arm, relax your forearm, relax your hands, so on and so forth. Go down the back. It's very good for like hypertension, heart issues. Internal Nourish Qigong. It's a static Qigong that uses do not breathing. It's an old style from the Ming and Qing dynasty. Do not is just like a deep breathing. So it's good for chronic digestive and respiratory issues. The method is to inhale, pause, and then exhale. The body is supposed to be very silent and relaxed. You can do it sitting, standing, or lying down. The breath is abdominal. The mind, you can visualize a color and spreading out. There's a mid-level method. There's like 5 different inhale, pause, and exhale styles. So the first one is to nourish your yin. So you softly do your breathing. So you inhale, pause, and then exhale very softly. It's supposed to be good for cirrhosis, constipation, and hypertension. And then there's the hard breathing, which is supposed to nourish yang. So in that one, you can use throat sound, like make it sound like an ocean, like a wave, like coming in and out on the beach. So it's like hopefully you can hear that. The third one, okay, so that one's for gastric ulcers and diarrhea. It's supposed to help. To tonify the yin and yang, you inhale, then you inhale again, and then hold it. Then you exhale. This is good for digestive and pulmonary issues. So inhale, inhale again, hold, and exhale. And then there's the tongue up and tongue down style. So this generates saliva. You can swallow it down for digestive. It's good for the appetite. Can be used with method 1, 2, and 3 breathing. Either the soft, hard, or the yin and yang methods. And so the tongue, when you inhale, you can touch your tongue behind the teeth, on the roof of the mouth, or in the back part of the mouth. And then the last one is selecting a silent chant or word phrase or affirmation at that time of the your pause. So you can like just inhale, hold it, and then say your chant. For example, you can tell yourself to relax, and then exhale. Inhale, relax, exhale. So just say it to your mind, inside your mind's eye. Or you can use just another phrase like get better, or pass this exam. Some kind of positive affirmation. Or release anxiety. That's a good one. The Robrant is a strengthening restorative effect Qigong. It's Buddhist, Taoist, and Confucian in origin, and it nourishes the kidney chi root, which is the root. Remember, the root is is in the kidneys. So use this sitting posture, cross-legged, full lotus, or half lotus. You can also do it standing, and then there's free postures you can use. So if you know how to cross your legs, Buddhist style, you cross your legs this way. Here's like a half lotus, this type of method. So the beginners, it's best to start with the quiet breathing. It's good for elderly, those with anemia or tuberculosis. There's deep breathing. That's in the abdomen. So the abdomen and then the chest expand and contract. This is good for neurasthenia, anemia, constipation, and difficult concentration. There's reverse breathing, which we usually do at the end of Qigong. You can do that after meals or if you're having an irregular sympathetic nervous system or heart conditions. So when you do those, you can keep your mind in one of three places, depending on your situation. So you can use Ren 6, the lower Dantian. You can use Ren 12, the middle jiao. So the Dantian or Ren 6 for the lower jiao. The middle jiao is Ren 12 for digestive or nervous systems or vascular diseases. And then for the upper jiao, Ren 17 for cardiac, pulmonary issues with anemia, low blood pressure, things like that. So you use that breathing style, and then you choose one of the three Dantians you're going to put your mind at. And one thing about Qigong, it's always good to finish at the Dantian. You know, you have to practice centering yourself. Don't be scatterbrained or rushing to the next moment. Really close your practice and come back to center. That's also called grounding yourself. Don't have your head up in the clouds. Come back to earth. And you want to clear your qi. Like this heaven washing motion that we do in some of the Qigongs, that's good for like clearing your qi, releasing and discharging karmic traces you pick up from others, like your friend having an emotional issue and they dump all this stress all over you. You want to be able to release and clear it and return to normal. Coming out from a deep meditation, just know where you are here and now. Be in the moment. There's various mental stages that come with Qigong. One's called Yisho, keeping awareness or focused on, like keeping your awareness at your lower Dantian, keeping your awareness at your middle Dantian. There's Kunjiang, which means visualization, like visualizing a waterfall washing over you, or opening up to a big sky, like you're parting the clouds in a nice big blue sky, you know, or you're up on top of a mountain and you see all the clouds below you, you know, those type of visualizations. There's Rujing, which is entering tranquility. If you're sitting in meditation, you might have a moment where you just, all of a sudden you feel really tranquil, really at peace. There's different types of entering tranquility. There's relaxed and tranquil. The body is relaxed, the mind is quiet. You can have pulsations and senses stage where you might feel warmth, light or heaviness, itching, cold or sinking sensations. There's joy and pleasure where you feel mentally strong and serene, a state of contentment. And then there's void and nothingness. This is like a loss of self and emotions, finding oneness with the universe and the infinite. Okay, that's enough for this lecture, and we will be back with you shortly, and hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day.